going on, guys? JD from New York here, coming at you with your news and rumors this week. Now, I have a lot of stuff to get into. I got news on Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger. I have news on John Cena, and I also have news on The Undertaker. And that's what I'm going to start off with. I got big news on The Undertaker. Finally, we got some concrete plans for The Undertaker's WrestleMania status. We're going to get right into that. PW Insider is reporting that The Undertaker versus CM Punk is now penciled in for this year's WrestleMania, and WWE Creative is really scrambling to fast-track the match's storyline. WWE Creative is concerned with CM Punk, though, losing the last two pay-per-views and then again to John Cena on Monday. They feel a loss to The Undertaker at WrestleMania could really damage CM Punk's name, who also draws on the road for them along with John Cena. The feeling at this past Monday's Raw was that The Undertaker will be back. Yes, he will be back on Monday Night Raw when WWE goes old school with their themed episode. Some of the words used in CM Punk's promo, if you guys remember this past Monday during the 9 o'clock hour, some of the words he used were immortal, an icon, and a god. Called himself a god. Some believe that those words are setting up the feud with The Undertaker. Now, my opinion on this, we all knew he was going to be at WrestleMania. I knew, you guys knew. All right? It was just a matter of time when it was going to be unveiled, when it was going to be announced, and how the feud was initially going to be started. It doesn't take brain surgery to figure out how to book this feud. As pretty much we all know, with The Undertaker and CM Punk, these guys can book a match by themselves with absolutely no storyline. You have Punk, who's coming off 3 devastating losses, 2 to The Rock and 1 to John Cena, all right, on Monday. He's already made himself stand above everyone else during the year. And now come WrestleMania, he's not going to be in that main event. He's not going to be spotlighted like John Cena and The Rock. So what else is there to do for CM Punk? Challenge The Undertaker for the streak. All right, The Undertaker, you beat him at WrestleMania, something that's never been done before. I won't go into my opinion on who I think should win or why, because I want to save that for my preview and predictions video for WrestleMania 29 in a few weeks. And I'll get that out as the card is fully announced. But all I know and all I will tell you is this. Forget about John Cena versus The Rock for the WWE Championship being the main event at WrestleMania. You know, forget about the years with Triple H and HBK challenging for the streak. All 3 guys, Triple H, HBK, and The Undertaker, gave us matches the last 4 years that were absolutely amazing, and they will go on to be remembered forever. But this is the one year that we all will be thinking about. Who is going to walk out of New Jersey, the winner of this match? This is the first year where I seriously doubt The Undertaker's ability to walk out of an event like WrestleMania 21-0. And that to me as a wrestling fan has me more excited than anything. Finally, an unpredictable match against an unpredictable opponent for The Undertaker. Will this be the year The Undertaker streak ends? The other years we knew what was going to happen. This year's different. This is your main event for WrestleMania, guys. This is your main event. Forget The Rock, forget John Cena, forget the WWE title. This is higher than that right now. And if CM Punk wins, he'll go on to be the greatest of all time. Because if you beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, that's bigger than any belt in the industry. Just the way The Undertaker's been, high up on that hierarchy of WWE and wrestling in general. You have Punk beat The Undertaker, that's it for Punk. He needs nothing else for the rest of his career. WWE will actually turn back the clock, like I already stated, on Monday, as the program is being branded as an old-school episode of Monday Night Raw. The episode is being internally considered a throwaway show, and the undercard matches for WrestleMania will not start to take shape until the following week. Now, the fact that the WWE has already stated that this is a throwaway show just shows me that WrestleMania is being rushed. Okay? You could look at it 2 ways. You could possibly say that WWE is planning out WrestleMania. They have their plans all set in stone. Or you can think that WWE is rushing the card. Or doesn't give a shit about the rest of the card, except for the top-tier matches. I highly doubt that. I'm going to go and stick to my first point, that WrestleMania is being rushed and that WWE Creative doesn't really know what they're doing. No shows from now until WrestleMania should be throwaway shows. Nothing. Every show should have meaning and they should put everything possible to stack these shows and make them memorable to get the people genuinely excited for WrestleMania 29. Anyway, I enjoy the old school Monday Night Raws. I definitely enjoyed it when they did it a few years back. It brings you back to a day when we were all younger watching the product. It gives the newer audience who hasn't seen or wasn't around back then to see how things were done. And, when it came to Monday Night Raw, that's how I picture Monday Night Raw now. I would love if Monday Night Raw reverted back to somewhat of an older style when they used to put the shows on the USA Network, when they used to put the shows on TNN. Some of the things that they did back in the day, I really wish WWE would implement. WWE always seems to want to abandon what they did in the older days to make them successful, and that's not how I would operate. What worked back in the day would certainly work now, especially with the way you book matches and, create storylines and angles. I wish WWE would go back and see what they did in the past and implement some of that in the future. It would only be good for the product, and it would better the product in a big way. That's my opinion. WWE's storyline with Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter was reportedly brainstormed by an individual named Kevin Eck, a former writer for the Baltimore Sun who joined the Sports Entertainment Organization in 2011. Now, the idea to bring in Zeb, or Dutch Mantel, was actually from Vince McMahon and some of the WWE writing team. There has been a feeling that some guys just can't talk to get themselves over and need managers to talk for them. This was discussed for a few months, and at the time, Dutch and another former WCW, ECW, and TNA manager, Jim Mitchell, who was, I think he managed Abyss, if I'm not mistaken. I don't watch TNA. If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But he did manage Abyss, I believe, when he was a heel. They want to actually bring back managers to the WWE, which I only think is a great idea. I love the idea of managers, and I never understood why this concept went away. Obviously, half of the roster have no true mic skills outside the obvious choices of Punk, Ziggler, Cena, Orton, Sheamus, etc. Managers were a vital role in the success of a character back in the day. And again, that's going to ring true with Jack Swagger, because Jack Swagger is not the greatest mic skill in the WWE. Bobby Heenan, Paul Bearer, Mr. Fuji, Ted DiBiase, Johnny Polo, Mr. Perfect when he was with Ric Flair, HBK when he was with Diesel. You had Marlena with Goldust. You had Sonny with the Body Donnas and the Smoking Guns and the Godwins, so many more. I hope that they stick to their guns here and bring in more managers. It would add so much to the product, and again, take something from the old school and apply it to the current product on TV that would make it better for the long haul. That's my opinion. The official Facebook page of the WWE announced last Thursday that WWE Champion Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, would be among those present for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in April at the Scottrade Center in St. Louis, Missouri on May 19th. Oh, sorry, it's in May. However, the Wrestling Observer editor, Dave Meltzer, said that The Rock will be in Europe actually filming MGM and Paramount Pictures' Hercules during this time frame. Meltzer contacted WWE for official clarification, and he got no answer. Now, The Rock doesn't need to be at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. It's a B-level pay-per-view. That wouldn't benefit The Rock, is what I'm trying to say. That would not benefit The Rock to be at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I'm assuming here the WWE wants to spike that pay-per-view buy rate, just like they did with Lesnar last year at Extreme Rules. They had Lesnar, and they put him in a throwaway feud with John Cena. Now, the feud and the feud sucked. The match ended up being one of the best matches in 2012. But the match had no build. The feud had no build. They rushed Lesnar and Cena into a match just to do big numbers. Regardless, like I said, they probably put on one of the best matches in 2012. But at the time, now I wasn't on YouTube last year, I was very vocal about this feud being rushed with Cena and Lesnar. I would have preferred to have it at SummerSlam last year, but they wanted to rush it because of Lesnar's contract and the dates they were paying him for. All in all, Extreme Rules is nothing but WrestleMania rematches with stipulations, because WWE Creative seems to take a vacation as soon as WrestleMania ends. So The Rock really doesn't need to be there. It's not going to benefit him. It's not going to benefit the product. They're just trying desperately to spike that buy rate to have The Rock there, but I don't think he's going to be there. There's no need for him. Booker T revealed at a WWE Saturday morning taping from Oklahoma City, I think this was taped right before SmackDown this week, that 2013 Hall of Famer Mick Foley is going to be the new general manager for Saturday Morning Slam. Based on WWE's earlier announcement made this week, a new general manager will be a superstar, a current superstar, and he will be named in a few weeks. It appears Foley is just a temporary GM. Nobody watches Saturday Morning Slam. It really doesn't make any sense to me, and it's completely pointless. Build up a show for the audience, the small audience that does watch it, the little kids that watch it on Saturday morning. I used to watch Saturday morning cartoons when I was younger. I used to watch WWE Superstars when it was on Saturday and Sunday on the weekends when I was younger. But this is a show nobody cares about and nobody really watches, so it's just a waste of my time, to be honest with you. Monday's edition of Monday Night Raw featuring CM Punk vs. John Cena in their 5-star classic. If you guys missed it, go out and YouTube it. Fantastic match. Did a 3.46 cable rating, up 5% from last week. Should have did a bigger rating. That match was probably match of the year. It's going to be in the match of the year running to when we end 2013, and the year has barely even begun. That says a lot. And like I said in my Monday Night Raw video, don't doubt John Cena. He always puts on great matches, even though a lot of people hate on him. And CM Punk is CM Punk. He's the best in the world for a reason. He's not joking when he says it. Go out and YouTube that match. Vince McMahon reportedly blew a gasket backstage during the CM Punk vs. John Cena main event. Word is that Vince got upset when CM Punk hit Cena with a pile driver, which is a banned maneuver in the WWE. Vince was upset with Cena and Punk, but because it was them who did it, there will be no serious punishment for both men. Now, my opinion on this is the reason why the pile driver is banned from the WWE is because of Steve Austin. Just take a look at Steve Austin. Anyone remember that night he was injured at SummerSlam by Owen Hart? You can just tell from that one incident why the pile driver was banned. Incidents like that need to be avoided at all costs. So when Punk pulled that move out, I was literally eyes wide open in shock because I know how strict WWE is on certain things. I'm sure it was talked about beforehand, so I really don't believe this article. Nothing gets by Vince McMahon. You have to go through Vince McMahon to get the okay. But a lot of people on these forums and wrestling forums here and there were talking about The Undertaker. Why isn't the Tombstone pile driver banned? Now, this is The Undertaker's maneuver. Guys like Taker, Cena, Punk, they've earned the right to do what they do in the ring. They're called ring generals for a reason. If it'll add more to the match and make the match a little bit more special, I'm all for it. Especially if it's done sporadically. Something like that was pulled out of nowhere after we haven't seen it for so long. It's a great moment. That's what WWE's going for. But I can understand why Vince was upset, especially if he didn't have any idea that the move was going to be done. But I don't believe that. I really think it was talked about beforehand, and Vince knew. He just wanted to show off for the boys backstage. And also, guys, former WWE Superstar MVP announced his end with New Japan Pro Wrestling and is open to a WWE return. I would be open to his return simply because it would add more to an already dismal mid-card in the WWE. I was never a big fan of his in-ring work, and I also think WWE held him back a lot when he was on TV back in the day. But the re-addition of him to the roster, I'm all for it. WWE needs to build that mid-card up to the point where it thrived in the 90s. They have the pieces in Wade Barrett, Kofi Kingston, Antonio Cesaro, The Miz, Cody Rhodes, Damien Sandow, R-Truth. They have the pieces. We've seen the introduction of Bo Dallas from NXT. You got Joe Hennig sitting around doing nothing. You got Justin Gabriel sitting around. Add MVP, Shelton Benjamin, get John Morrison back in there. WWE can have a hell of a mid-card division, but this is all talk. It's got to be done. I don't work for WWE, but this is what I would do. But that is the news and rumors this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It really wasn't a lot besides the big story about The Undertaker vs. CM Punk finally being set in stone. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just reporting the news to you guys. Everywhere I looked, it says that The Undertaker will be back on Old School Monday Night Raw this Monday. But if he doesn't show up, I don't know what else to tell you. The WWE hinted that he might return this past Monday during the Cena Punk match, but that didn't happen. So it's probably going to be on Monday Night Raw, according to all the sources. So look forward to that. It's going to be an exciting Monday Night Raw, old school. But anyway, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you for all the support on my WWE videos. I really appreciate it. I'm at 1,300 subscribers and growing. Hit that like button. Like I said, guys, support JD, and I love you all. I appreciate all the support. I'll talk to you all later. Monday Night Raw Monday. Look for me Tuesday morning with my review. Take care, guys.